Hello, so in this video I am going to be talking about the modes and talking about what they are, and I'm going to be talking about why I feel they are a very powerful tool to aid in composition and in understanding the music you're listening to. I think they're often presented as being a very kind of advanced, complicated music theory thing that, ordinary people don't have any hope of understanding, and that I don't think is accurate. I think it's a misconception, and I think if people realise how easy to understand they are, people would use them a lot more, and it would help people's musicianship. So I'm going to give a bit of an introduction here, and then I'm going to play a solo that goes through all of the modes to kind of demonstrate how powerful they are as a concept. So first, a little bit of background, because I don't know how much music theory people watching this know, from the ground up. So if you look at the C major scale, okay, to start with, they are C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Those are 7 notes of the scale. So any piece of music composed in that scale, using that scale, has consists of just those 7 notes in various kind of orders and combinations. If you, and a long time ago, like centuries, people found that if you play those chords, play those notes as together, but alternating, so play the first, the third, then the fifth, for example. So starting on the C, if we play the C as the first, and then the E, and then the G, so the C, the E, and the G together, it creates quite a nice sound. Whereas if we play, for example, the C, the D, and the G, the 1, 2, and the 5, it doesn't sound so nice. That one does. And so you can, if you do that, building on each degree of the scale, so start with the C, E, and G, and then you've got the D, F, and A, and so on throughout your scale. You've got the sorry out my cable. You've got the diatonic chords. That's what they're called, diatonic chords. It's just the chords, the kind of core chords that make up a key. So in C major we have C major, D minor, E minor, F major, G major, A minor, B minor flat, B minor flat 5, and then back to C major. So those are the 7 chords that make up the key, and then if you play those chords in a row, you get a chord sequence, chord progression, which is what makes up music. Generally, you tend to, if you're composing in C major, you'll create a chord progression that focuses on the chord of C major, because that feels like the home chord, the tonic. So if I, for example, play you something like that in C major, you can see how it's focused on the C major chord. To demonstrate that, if I play something like this, you see how that feels unfinished, and it feels like it needs to kind of resolve. And then if I then go with resolved in, back to the C major, it feels done again, ready, finished again. So that's the concept of a tonic, and how you create a chord progression. Now, you might be aware that the key of A minor is the exact same 7 notes as the key of C major, but just you start on the A. So you go A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. And similarly, if you base your chord progression on the chord of A minor, you get a minor sounding progression, which equally works. If we go, focusing on the A minor. So if you build your chord progression around C, it's in the key of C major. If you build it around A minor, it's in the key of A minor, it's in a minor key. That might raise the question, what can we build a chord progression on one of the other chords? Can we build it on the D minor, for example? And the answer is yes, and that's what the modes are. Bringing us into the concept of this video. So on that note, there are 7 modes, one for each degree of the scale, which are the 7 notes of the scale that I just played. So we have C major corresponds to the Ionian mode, which is the same as the kind of traditional major key, major scale, whatever you want to call it. The D minor is corresponds to the Dorian mode. The E minor corresponds to the Phrygian mode. The F major corresponds to the Lydian mode. The G major corresponds to Mixolydian. A minor corresponds to Aeolian, which is another word for the traditional minor scale, as with the Ionian and the C major. And then the B with the flattened fifth, also called B diminished, corresponds to the Locrian scale, Locrian mode. So those are your 7 modes, and now I'm going to give a demonstration as to why they exist, what their kind of power is, how they change the sound of a piece of music, even though you're staying in the same key with the same 7 chords throughout, the same 7 notes throughout. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play I've got a backing track recorded on my loop pedal of the that goes through each one of the 7 modes. I am going to play over the top of that. I can stay in key. I'm going to play over the top of that, purely in the key of C major. I mean, I might move around the neck a bit, but it's all going to be those 7 notes, just in different places. I'm going to try and play the same type of thing consistently. It's not necessarily going to be that easy, because you subconsciously draw from kind of your surroundings and the musical context. So I'm going to draw from the music I'm hearing, but I'm going to try as much as possible to kind of be consistent with what I am playing, so to kind of emphasize that the only thing that's changing the kind of feel of this music is the backing track. So without further ado, I'm going to stick a little distortion on. Sounds nice. And I'm going to get on with it. So I hope you enjoy this little solo thing. hopefully that worked. I wasn't really paying attention to how I sound. I was just kind of vibing, just in the zone. So hopefully, I think I've turned off my pedal somehow there. Hopefully that sounded good. Hopefully that demonstrated my point, and I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope you've gained a greater appreciation for the modes. There is plenty of stuff online about what they are, how to use them, how to create chord progressions in any given mode and all of that stuff. I hope this has given you a bit of an introduction, and I hope it's been enjoyable. If it has, feel free to look at my website. I'll put the link in the description to see any of my own original music. And yeah, that's all.